live stream for significant severe weather in the northern plains. I'm joining TRG here this afternoon.
Opinion, this is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to keep seeing severe storms along this area here. They're going to be mainly hail of like near 3-inch in diameter, 60, 70, or rather 80 to 90 mile per hour winds, and we will probably see a few tornadoes off of those storms. But the big severe weather makers should form off the warm front after 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight, and those will be the ones that I believe are going to be able to produce 4-inch hail, 90 mile an hour winds, and possibly an intense tornado or two. I don't think we will see a violent tornado, but you'll understand why I'm mentioning that when we take one quick peek at the supercell composite, and it is completely maxed out across portions of South Dakota and North Dakota right along that warm front. A very, very volatile environment, something we typically see in May in Oklahoma, is in place across South Dakota and North Dakota. So even if we only get like a few storms to fire, those few storms are going to be able to thrive off of one of the most potent environments in North Dakota and South Dakota in quite a long time. Matter of fact, in possibly upwards of about 13 years or so, the last time we had a 10 significant tornado risk in effect for Central Dakota in June was, I believe it was either 2012 or 2013, which is generally about 12 to 13 years ago, was the last time we had a setup generally like this in June in Central North Dakota. So it is very rare to come by such a volatile environment this time of the year in North Dakota, especially for tornadoes. Now, hail and wind, it's not as rare. You know, we see derechos, huge hailstones nearly every year across North Dakota in June and July. It's not that crazy for big wind bags of 80 to 90 miles per hour or 3-inch hail up here. But the tornado threat is what's rare. That's the bit more rare thing. Having the combination of high shear, high instability mixed with high dew points, and it also, of course, into your 80s for temperatures, that's pretty rare. I do want to point out something, though, on the HRRR. If we go back, we'll stay like right in here. These storms should ride the warm front. And honestly, if they aren't too messy, like if we see supercells like that, a long-tracked intense tornado is a very real possibility. This particular, if we saw a storm particularly like this, where it is a discrete supercell riding the warm front across the border of North Dakota and Minnesota for 3 to 4 hours, that's going to be a very dangerous supercell if that is to occur. So, definitely the ceiling there is very, very high. We are at a very high ceiling for today. The floor is still, like, the lowest end scenario is like widespread 70 mile an hour winds, widespread 2-inch hail, and a few spin up tornadoes. That's like as low as the threat goes. I don't think we're going to see like a full-blown bust where the capping holds or storms fire maybe north of the boundary, but I mean, it would be really impossible for that to happen.
Hey,
I mean, our
Jeff,
boundary is like right up
What's
in
up?
here.
Oh, Jesus.
That's like where your warm front is back up in this area. So it would be very hard for us to see storms fire.
All good. No, there's not patrols tonight. There's a patrol tomorrow.
There's still going to be big time
so
hailers.
I should be able to get on then.
So it's not
perfect.
like
It
if they
sounds
fire north
good.
of the boundary,
Even if you
they're
can't,
just
no
gonna
rush. I mean,
be
we're still in
gone. There's
development, so
gonna
we're not
be,
really doing
very
mandatory. We have to come. No, it's
supercell. So
you can come.
there's
Great.
your
If
low
not,
pressure,
it's
so your cold
well.
front goes back out down like
Yeah,
that,
it's
and your
literally-
warm front extends
Tomorrow
back
is
up
still
like this.
a question.
So you have a very large
Yep.
open
No, you're
warning
fine, dude.
sector,
By all means,
very large
dude.
open
All good,
warning
brother.
sector
All good.
for today's severe weather event.
I really got to add a maybe to that.
And I will go ahead and show you
Maybe.
another reason
Yes.
why I believe today could be
Yes.
possibly a
Hey, you
prolific
can't be speaking. You
tornado
come
event,
every single time.
or maybe
Hey!
a tornado outbreak, something around the realms of that.
Right.
I mean,
let me go over
Jeff
to
can agree. I technically try, but every time I
Mesoanalysis.
try to get on,
It's all gonna come down to that
I-
supercell. If we don't see those
I
supercells
see
fire,
it.
then
I
we're not
mean,
gonna
I
get
see,
anywhere
I
close
see
to
your
a
activity.
prolific
Even if
tornado
you're not
outbreak.
getting on, you're
That
still
won't be
active.
remote
Yeah.
Running.
close.
I see it all the
Let
time.
me see. All right, it's this right here.
You
Last
guys
one
ever
I
see-
tried to go into got
This is your
cancelled.
newest meso
I mean,
analysis.
you know, people,
And
you
look
know,
at that.
my close
Look
friends
at
can
your
tell you,
front.
just
So your
because
low
I'm not
pressure's
in
back
game
out
in
in
5M
here.
doesn't
Cold
mean
front
I'm
is
on,
very
not on
obvious
Discord.
back down
You
this
know?
area. So your low pressure goes
Right.
somewhere. I'll just draw it right here, but it's more left. And then your cold front extends down this way. Your
Kinda.
warm front extends back up in here.
Harper, I'm really trying to find you
And
that certain
right
badges on this
away,
car. I can't get a good look
if
at
you
it
were in
and see
yesterday's live stream,
what badge it is,
or if you've been
because
paying attention to this
And
setup,
It
You
looks
know,
like it's their what is it? Is
we
it
were
a
expecting
6-point
a very
star
strong
or is it?
cap. And look at our
Give or
warm
take.
sector.
I don't know.
This entire area,
Nowadays, if I'm not on a game,
this entire area
I'm
is
doing a live
uncapped
stream.
and very favorable.
It looks like
Okay.
it's
a open
7.
warm sector that is extremely
7 point.
favorable, and it's just sitting there.
But
Upwards of 5,500.
it looks. The thing is, it looks
uncapped
different
on
than the
North
one
Dakota,
they have like
South
on their
Dakota
back,
border.
their
That is
shoulder.
just
though.
absurd. We were thinking all this
Oh,
instability
shit.
was going
Hell
to
yeah!
cap.
I got a great picture.
And
I got a
is
great picture of
not
it. Hell yeah!
capped At all
Isn't
over
this
the
state,
open warm sector
isn't
in
this
North
server
Dakota, South
based off
Dakota, or
of
western
Minnesota?
Minnesota. It's not capped.
Yes.
y'all might
Whatsoever.
want to watch out.
Now it is going to start
Oh,
getting
yeah,
capped
to
towards
not-
like 8
for
o'clock,
what?
9 o'clock.
Um,
Things will start to be capped,
this
but that's
live
right when our
stream
superstar
may or
should
may
begin
not
to
be
fire.
for
So
Minnesota.
In 2 to 3 hours, you'll see that
Avoid
capping
live stream.
rebuilds in, but you're going to be getting
Severe
close
weather.
to 6,000, maybe even
Oh,
pushing
that's-
6,500 in stability at that
Well,
time.
I expect
what
at
am
this
I
point-
Southeastern North Dakota, and then in 4
You're in fucking
hours,
Georgia. Get out of here,
those
Mason.
storms
Okay.
along the
Exactly,
water
I
will
don't-
be fired across,
He's an
North
entire.
Dakota,
Wait a
western
minute. No,
Minnesota.
actually,
And,
if
we're
in a different
anything,
continent.
we
he's
should
yeah.
be seeing
I'm
a couple
fucked.
strong
Send this to
possibly
send this one. I just because I got the actual badge that's on the
tornadoes firing
delivery.
across North Dakota at that time.
Um,
The biggest uncertainty, in my opinion, is the consecutive
Jeff, if you want me
evolution
to, I
of
can,
storms after they fire.
I can send you.
How quickly do they congeal into
the
lines?
live stream.
Exactly where do they track, and how?
Are you in?
intense they
Are you in?
win?
Are you in North Dakota or
That's
are
a
you?
lot
Are
of
you, are you
uncertainty,
at?
and that's going to lead to a
I'm
lot
all
of
the way down
uncertainty
here in
into like
Texas. I'm
Minnesota,
good.
Wisconsin, and especially
Oh,
going into
gotcha.
the overnight hours for like Michigan and
Oh boy, what
portions
the
of
fuck just
Canada
stung
too.
me? Ooh, wait,
But
that's not
North
something-
Dakota, I
damn
mean,
sticker.
that's
How the hell
definitely
that
going to be
get
a
in here?
state that ends up with quite the
But no, yeah. If you want to
either
send me the live stream, sure.
likely tornado.
I know Reed Trimmer in the. I know Reed Trimmer is in.
tornado outbreak.
Reed Trimmer is in
Your
North
Supercell
Dakota.
composite
Oh,
out
Reed
there in
is
North Dakota
always
already
in
up to a
fucking
20, so
that-
already a
that
very
area.
potent
He's
environment
always
in
over
place.
there.
I do like to check other
Especially
things
if it
other
has
than
something to
Supercell
do with
composites. So
tornadoes.
instability
You can bet on him being there.
3,500, lower level wind shear 100.
Well, anyways,
not
yeah.
the best,
Okay,
but
Jeff.
guess what?
Yeah.
Storms
What?
along the warm front,
How's the
8, 9
vehicle?
o'clock. That's when the sun
Jeff
is
B.
set. That's when your jet
I
ramps up.
don't
So
know.
in
I'm
2 to
trying to.
4
Alan
hours,
hasn't really given me much
very
updates.
large
so.
area of 100
Who had to
to
give you
300
count?
0 to 1
Alan,
kilometer as
Alan,
such
the
across
developer,
much
aka
of
the
warm
other
sector
server
there.
owner.
Alan's the server owner? I thought you
another
were.
thing is the
Alan
Both
owns the
are.
server. Jeff
in
is a
place already
founder,
across,
and I am the third founder.
southwestern,
Jeez.
Well,
Southwestern
technically,
North
I'm
Dakota.
technically the actual the actually owner because I
downdraft
actually pay for
instability,
everything.
which is
Yeah,
powerful for
okay.
damaging winds. Anything over
If we want to go based off of technicalities, I do a lot over here too.
For probably the
No,
entire
like,
rest of the day.
Alan actually agreed that
Most of
I'm
the
technically the
overnight
actual
hours as well.
owner. He's
Yeah,
more or
I
less a
know.
co-owner.
I did
Look,
notice our
here's the thing.
temperatures
The
are very
person
I'll
that
just
has
buy
the
everything.
master key,
So,
the person
in the
who pays
short
for the
term, the
server
tornado
owns the
threat is
server.
definitely
So,
not going to be that high.
I
Well,
pay for it
technically,
because-
doesn't
much
don't
of
you
this
send Alan
area,
the
I
money
don't
and then he
expect
pays
I
for
do.
it?
much of a tornado
I do,
threat
yes.
here. I think it will be mainly hail and wind.
Doesn't he also
And
hold
once we
the-
get to
the-
central North
the
Dakota,
key to the server?
That's when things
He
will
does.
start to
Or both
become
owners.
more
We're both
dramatic,
owners.
especially near
Well,
sunset.
at
And
that-
hey,
at
I'm
that-
just here to watch.
So I don't think
At
our
that
tornado
point,
threat
I
is that
my stream
notable
volume
at the
way
moment.
up. Like, good God.
Huh?
It
But
it
that
was
will
my
change
desktop
in the
audio on
future.
my fucking Streamlabs got turned up somehow.
I gotta go.
2 hours from now, you'll see that lower level
Whoa.
jet starts to ramp up.
Hold
2 to
on,
4
guys, I'll be
hours,
right back. I
and
gotta go
really
pick
the
up my
sweet
food.
spot
Probably like
is
10
on the
minutes.
border of North Dakota
Hurry up.
and Minnesota.
Oh,
Right
Um,
around that area.
yeah,
Really
yep,
see
that
the
happened.
sweet spot
Yep.
for
Can
severe storms
can one
being
of y'all
right in
confirm?
here.
Did
Probably
Streamlabs
from
have
about
a
9:30 p.m.
update
to
last
about
night?
2
Because
a.m.
if it
Eastern
did, I
time.
definitely can notice it.
How many Streamlabs?
That's what I'm
God
thinking.
knows how.
Hey Harper, did you get Did you get that picture of the
Yeah.
trailer with the good badge? Are you able to extract that picture
let's go
and make it like a
to-
PNG so you can use it, or
Yeah, I should be able to. I'll
To
try
a
it now.
photograph map.
perfect?
And very favorable.
Let's see.
very, very favorable across southern North Dakota there.
Holy
and
moly.
northern South Dakota, right along the border.
I was not expecting this stuff to okay.
So we'll see how today plays out, but definitely setup is very, very potent, volatile environment across North Dakota. Very easy to tell why the SBC has gone ahead and issued that 10 significant tornado risk.
I'm surprised they didn't issue a 15.
Yeah, we'll see
With
how
that.
it plays out. I mean, I think it's going to be a very notable risk.
Yeah, no shit. Especially with that kind of
See
stuff.
what we have
Yeah.
over here. Currently, the only watch out is a severe thunderstorm watch across North Dakota, South Dakota, and eastern Montana. That's where we have our severe thunderstorm watch in place. Tornado probabilities are probably
literally
fairly
just
low
added
on that,
this,
I'd
so.
imagine. Yeah, just a 20% there, so fairly low tornado probabilities, and that's what I'm expecting. Mainly hail and
Oh,
wind
yeah,
out of
there
this
we go.
stuff in the short term, and things start to explode once they begin to get towards the end of this watch or leave this watch. Probably still a good 2.5, maybe pushing 3 hours from now. Otter, it's still very possible they could go moderate risk at the 9 o'clock update. 9 p.m., that's going to be when we really know, what's happening with our supercells and how favorable our environment looks like. So it's
Yeah.
very possible that they could go 45 sig wind at the next update. It would not surprise me at all.
TRG.
I think it's about a 50-50 shot, really.
Dude.
I think it's about an equal chance that they upgrade it and an equal chance that they keep it the same, in my opinion. What about a 15 sig Tor? Some other runs show storms firing north of the best wind shear, and in that case, storms along the warm front have an opportunity to be barely north of the warm front, north of the best wind shear, north of the main environment. And if that happens, they're going to be mainly big hailers. So with that uncertainty on if storms will fire on the warm front or north of the warm front, I don't think we'll see them go 15 sig Tor. I don't think we'll end up with a 15 significant tornado risk. In my opinion, too much uncertainty on what happens with the warm front and where supercells fire. I think they will upgrade it mainly for... I think it will really just be for wind, but honestly, they could do anything, really. I could see them keeping it the same. I could see them upgrading it for all hazards. It just depends on what things look like at 9 o'clock and what the SBC thinks is going to happen.
No, what do you need?
Currently, not much happening.
So from central and northern
outside of eastern Montana, across much of
Minnesota,
the U.S., we're just mainly going to see some isolated, scattered thunderstorms.
enhanced risk,
for severe
aka
weather
the best
outside
chance
of
of
our
severe
north central
or
plains
severe
risk today is
damaging
going to be
winds
in like western Kansas and
and
portions of northern Florida.
tornadoes.
Oh wow.
So and large hail.
I don't expect
So,
supercells to fire in the
central
next
and
1 to 2
northern,
hours, maybe pushing 3 hours, Grandpa.
Minnesota
I think
is
that will,
in a enhanced risk level 3
I
out of
think
5
closer to 9 Eastern.
for 5
I think closer to 9
and
Eastern.
2%
In about 2 to 4
tornadoes.
hours is when
Wind
supercells will
30
fire.
sig and hail 30
It
sig.
should be.
So, all significant severe
It should
hazards.
be just after dark. Out here in North Dakota.
Yeah, if
Should be
there's one
just
touching down, he's
around
screwed.
Dark. Like near 8 o'clock central.
What I can say is
When storms
Oops,
really
we're
start
starting
to
warming.
explode out here.
before I was
Already up
rudely
to a,
interrupted by a
significant
severe warning.
severe
I had another
or
one.
possible severe as well. 1.75 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds.
I would say
out in
if
eastern
it's a big
Montana.
if a
So
storm
already these storms are starting
can
to become,
latch on to the warm front,
significant.
it's going to go all hail.
That is,
no doubt
in
about
the
it.
slight
But if
risk
it,
for severe
there's
weather.
that
At the 4
uncertainty.
o'clock update,
If they
expanded
can
the slight risk a little bit more south,
actually
which
latch
obviously
onto
was
the
a good
warm front,
idea,
we may
since
have a
we
few
literally have
long
a
track
sig
tornadoes.
severe
If they don't,
in that
well, good.
expansion that they did earlier this afternoon.
So it's either you know
There's
there
a little
is
storm
a
front
lot
in
of
front
uncertainty
of our
about
main
if they
front,
actually
little bit of a
will
prefrontal going up
attach to
there.
that warm front. So that's kind of
But
the
like I said, our
I guess
short-term
you'd
tornado
say
threat is
the
very
better
low.
side of what
I
Jeff
don't expect
could
our
get.
tornado threat to ramp up until after dark. Really, everything is after dark, which is another reason why I think this is going to be a
But the worst case scenario, obviously, is
potentially
the
dangerous
worst
setup
tornado
for
threat.
severe weather.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, he's
Let me
probably going to
check
be waking
this.
up with no power in the morning. So, because of the damaging straight line
again,
winds can still take out power. So.
Most of our severe threat will be firing up
Don't I know
after
it?
dark here across
I
our
live in
main
Georgia.
coast
Georgia.
One
area.
gust of wind. Shut up!
North Dakota,
One gust of wind over here
Wisconsin,
knocks our
all
entire
under the
power out.
biggest
Yeah,
We don't
same
have
over
it back
here.
until like
tonight.
4 in the morning.
That's what I'm
Currently,
saying, bro.
Eastern Montana
Dude,
is
over
experiencing
here,
their,
I had a
main
bare
threat for severe
minimum
weather. Eastern
55
Montana
to
will be
60
done with the main
severe,
risk in about an hour or
which
so.
is 60
This
mile
would
per hour
really
winds
be
is
in
the
North
bare
Dakota,
minimum
South
for a
Dakota in
severe
about an
storm,
hour and a half from now.
and my power was out. It's like, really? Are you that much of a pussy?
But when it normally
I
rains,
forgot
no,
how
power
to-
doesn't want to go out. Gust of wind takes
There's a
out my whole
specific
power
model
line
I'm
right in front of my
trying to find.
house. They had to replace the entire line.
Tin Tower.
The entire. Shut up.
But
let's take a quick
you
look
know
at your
what
trough.
really actually what I think,
Take a
and
quick
you
look
know,
at
it's
measure
not the
analysis and
winds.
take a
I
look
don't
at
think.
your overall
What
trough here.
what's funny about it is I think the
In US.
lightning is what my power grid hates.
Hold on, let me bring that down.
Then again, it might just be Atlanta.
That screen moved.
Because everything about
Where
this
is
city
my
is
screen?
trash.
Well, I live near Houston, so that might be my problem.
Go ahead, say it then. Say it. What
Nope,
don't you want to
nope,
say?
nope,
What don't you want to say? Say it. Say it. Say it.
I ain't getting demonetized for like
Must've
5.5
moved
plus
that accidentally.
hours.
Alright, but here's our 500 millibar.
I ain't
Wind
saying a word,
speeds.
man.
You can see the
You're
shortwave
crazy.
trough
What are you,
here
nervous 'cause
across
I'm live?
Montana into Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado. That's what's driving our storms right now in eastern Montana. They're right along that shortwave trough, and that's going to continue to move off to the northeast. It's not a very strong trough here. It's really not that strong, but it has a huge
That's why my
kind of
live
bowling
stream
ball
has
trough out
not
in
made
the
for
Pacific
kids because,
Northwest.
well,
And that's just
Kids don't
continuing
need to be hearing,
help feed it
words
just overall
like that.
strength. Because this trough here is very strong, and of course your
Domination
shortwave
here,
is
though.
attached to that.
Wait, what?
trough.
I took my headset
So,
off for a
overnight,
second.
it should
Something about
increase
kids?
Shut
and
up.
You could see that from the
Don't worry
jet
about it.
response.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All I
Over
heard
the
was
next
something
few
about
hours,
kids,
potentially
and that's why his live
60
stream.
knot lower level
Is it
jet
for kids or
in
something? I don't.
6 hours across
I
the
Hell
coast
no.
of southern
Headset off for a
Minnesota. Now,
second.
thankfully,
And that's
storms
why you
won't
can't
be in that environment with that.
You realize? No,
lower level
I can't
jet.
say that here.
It will be on the
Yeah,
northern
you can
side,
say,
right up
couldn't you?
in here, is where our storms will be. And you can
Well,
see
I
in 6
mean,
hours,
If
your lower
they-
level
if
jet
they
is
want
right across
to,
that area.
Really, honestly, if kids
So
want
your
to for
shortwave trough does
educational purposes,
intensify
yeah, go ahead and watch it.
Quite,
But
quite
if
quickly into the
it's,
overnight hours.
I don't think, depending on what some
like I
people
said,
would
that's
say
essentially
on
the
my
bowling
streams,
ball
I don't
trough,
think
'cause that's
their
pushing
parents
it to
would
make
let
it
them
more
watch it
and more
very long.
negative. Minneapolis, you're in the risk for isolated severe storms overnight tonight, but we're anticipating most of our storms will stay north of Minneapolis tonight.
I ain't no redneck.
Poor possible severe continues for this storm in southeast Montana for the next hour.
Yes, I am. Look.
Did I check the observed soundings? No. I don't check those often, to be honest with you. I doubt we have any really good ones up here. We have one in south central North Dakota. Yeah, it shows a very favorable environment for hail and some wind, but definitely not so much for tornadoes.
No.
That was
what was that,
observed
Santa as well?
when, like an hour, almost an hour ago? Yeah.
Look at
Actually, almost
the
2
main
hours ago
judge
at this point.
over here.
So not really a new
No,
observed
good, but
sounding.
they were a good thing.
Wouldn't really call 2 hours ago exactly new.
Oh, oh, big up. We love SpongeBob committing 9/11.
Committing war crime.
Yeah, once that trough pushes through, the environment is going to
Alright.
get more favorable for tornadoes for sure. So it's not favorable just yet,
It's fine, it's SpongeBob
but
is
it's going to
wild.
be favorable. It is
I
going to be
started
favorable
about 15
once
or
that
10,
trough
15
pushes
minutes
through. Which again,
early. Like
everything's really going to
my
pop
stream
off
was scheduled for
overnight.
6 p.m. Central.
Most of these
so-
storms should just stay as normal severes, if not barely sub-severe. So I'm a bit surprised we already have a significant severe in southeastern Montana right now. Didn't really expect to see that whilst I was live streaming.
Ain't that a surprise, huh?
I'm not really good with covering overnight events, so this might just end up being more of a briefing, to be honest with you. I'll definitely keep in mind about the severe threat and might do an urgent stream tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna sit here for 7 to 8 hours going into the overnight hours. Not after so many streams we've done. We've done so many long live streams. My cat has been glued to me today. It probably senses that you're that you're recovering. Crazy how animals sense that, especially cats and dogs. Sense all types of stuff. So again, these cells here in North Dakota, just going to keep on seeing them intensify gradually, not expecting them to really rapidly intensify or anything like that. They should just gradually intensify with time. We're getting a new HRRR right now, and I do want to show you guys that because now the HRRR acknowledges the uncapped instability, and that means it's begun to fire storms along the warm front and actually being a reasonable model run. Earlier this afternoon, it barely even fired storms. What was it, like maybe the 16Z? It was a particular model run I looked at earlier in the afternoon on the HRRR, and it literally fired like pretty much just a brief supercell or two. Like it really showed not much happening at all today. And the newer ones have really picked up on the threat for severe weather. The newer HRRR ones are really starting to pick up on that. Yeah, but if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. It helps us get the word out about today's severe weather event going into the overnight hours. Let me go ahead and see how many people are under the gun for severe weather today. So in the enhanced risk area, we have a little over 1 million. In the slight risk area, we have actually less people in the slight than the enhanced today. So there's about 1.1 million in the enhanced and almost 1 million flat in the slight risk. And then just over 13.5 million people in the marginal. So the main risk area for today, about 2.1, 2.2 million people in the main slight risk and enhanced risk for severe storms today. Difference between the 16Z and the 19Z was crazy. Yep. That's the HRRR for you. It rarely does good with events like today, where you have a relatively capped environment, storms firing off of boundaries, and a relatively weaker front, and then a shortwave trough. The HRRR just it's not really a great model to begin with. It's one of our best models, but it's wrong very frequently day of. It is wrong very frequently. Yeah, so we have 2 severe storms right now. Our main one for the next couple hours is probably going to be the one in on like the border of South Dakota and North Dakota. That's probably going to be our main storm for the next couple hours until the warm front fires. It looks like the main threat with it will probably be hail and wind. The HRRR has it producing upwards of, gracious day. The HRRR is simulating 95 mile-an-hour winds with this storm in 3 hours. So according to the HRRR, this thing is going to become a beast of a windbag. I don't think it will pose much of a tornado threat, to be honest. Again, that lower level wind shear very low until about 9-10 p.m. But the wind and hail definitely going to be an issue with this southern storm here. Probably mainly just directly out in front of it. I think it's relatively just going to stay moving due east. So right out in front of that on the North Dakota-South Dakota border over the next 3 to 4 hours, that's where your highest risk should be. And then again, once that warm front fires towards 10, maybe even as late as 10:30 Eastern time, a good 3.5 hours from now, your main risk is definitely going to shift to those potentially big-time supercells firing right on that warm front.
Alright, yeah.
Let's see here.
Let's see.
Forcing is strong and a perfect warm nose for enough convection to remain discreet and not blow up until later. Yeah, you're forcing really... Right now, it's actually pretty strong right now. From what I could tell, you actually have really good forcing right now, so... It's just a very small nose of moisture until like 11 o'clock. I wish I could overlay it. Let's see. Just open Radar Mega really quick just to show you that warm, kind of a warm nose in terms of dew points here. So there's a very sharp access for dew points right now. Really right in here is where that's located. So storms right in this area moving eastward. And once they get into this better moisture, which should be close to 10, 11 o'clock, once they get to this area, just barely either on the east side of that current severe watch or outside of it. Right here, you see right here, and that time is 11 o'clock Eastern time. That's when
Isn't
they're in
it
better
crazy? I
moisture.
can
That's when the
literally like
forcing
just
is
change
very
the title
present.
and everything via the
And things would probably grow a lot more upscale here, if that were the case. And then you can
yeah,
see
I'm
your
gonna
warm
change
front
that.
fires right in this area. That's where your warm front is, and it fires on this HRRR run. With strong forcing and no capping, shouldn't it fire too many storms for a strong tornado threat? Most likely, our strong tornado threat will be focused along our warm front. If we go back to weatherwise here, that 10 sig tour, most of it is focused where our warm front is going to be. A good chunk of that 10 significant risk is going to be mainly for our discrete supercells along the warm front later today. But yeah, with such strong forcing, yes, damaging winds is definitely going to be the biggest issue. That's why the SPC was talking about an upgrade to a moderate risk for wind. So for sure, your biggest hail threat and your biggest tornado threat should come from those warm front storms. Likely close to 11 o'clock Eastern. But we could still see some large hail out of this storm too in North Dakota, South Dakota, since it's relatively discrete. It's not fully, it's not fully pushed into a line right now. Fargo is in the main risk. Fargo is in the main risk for severe weather. I would definitely be hyper weather aware if you live in Fargo. My target area for today would be like Hillsboro. This would be like my general target area today. Probably Hillsboro. I would start my day somewhere along this area, either along this road in here or in Hillsboro. So generally in this area.
Hey,
is where I would
Jeff?
be if I were chasing
Yes?
today's risk.
What
Which
part of Minnesota do
I
you
wouldn't
live
be.
in?
The last thing I would want to chase is a not
Straight across from
bad
Fargo in the middle.
supercells on a warm front.
You're gonna be
Yeah, New Age
squeezing it.
Triple R is wild.
So I'm about 2 hours. I'm getting like an hour and a half. Actually, I can tell you exactly how far away from Fargo I am. Because if you head west on the highway I live up next to, if you go straight west, that's how you get to Fargo. It's great. Beautiful.
So you're watching my stream right now.
Yeah. I mean, there was a tornado like on Tuesday that was like 7 miles southwest of us, so it was EF1.
And then it is a full-fledged NCS going to be
So you literally seen me, or you
winds
seen
gusts
how I
up to
was
90,
sitting there
and then by
changing the
midnight,
title
1 a.m.
after
Eastern,
TRG said he's
yeah.
probably not gonna do it tonight, huh?
That's
It's like I was
ridiculous.
like, you know, I normally
And see-
stream with
See, that's the
Ryan,
tricky part here.
not TRG. But you know,
Okay.
almost
in
looks like on
rare
the
cases, I
HRRR,
stream with
it
both,
nearly looks
if
like
they're
these
both
storms
live.
on
That
the warm
is.
front.
Alright.
But I
I
rescheduled my
almost want
main
to say they
stream
fire
for 8
nearly
because,
north of
well,
that best environment. Like it's right.
as you
they're
know,
right on
and
the
you know,
edge of
it's
it.
not going to be good when I tell you
They're
this,
right
but
on the
tonight
edge
it's gonna be a nocturnal.
By the way, I'm an
This
hour
is
and
their
50
main
minutes away
boundary right
from
there. That's your
Fargo.
main
I'm an
boundary.
hour 50 minutes
Draw it a different color.
east.
I'll draw it as, like,
So right in the middle of, dang near in the middle of
this is
Minnesota.
white. So that's your main boundary where storms are going to fire off.
I'll send you the
Before
screenshot,
it
hold on.
goes back down into here. And I mean, your HRRR
I think you're pretty
It's- they're
impressed on
literally
how my
on the-
PC
like,
is holding
literally
shit up,
on
aren't you?
that boundary, dude.
Wait, is my
Which
YouTube
means like
classical.
this storm here, that would be capable of producing a strong.
Oh, look at the screenshot I sent you. That's where I live.
If it were to happen.
Show me where you live.
See, everything congeals
Yeah, my
after
ear
one
fucking
AM,
shank.
things start to get a lot more
Yeah,
messy.
that'll be fun in the fucking stream, won't it?
Things get a lot more messy after 1 a.m. Still gonna have a tornado threat. Still gonna have a hail hazard threat, but the
You probably,
main risk from what I can tell
if
should
more
be
than
between-
Jeff
I'm
was
thinking
watching
10
the stream, you
to
might
1 a.m.
end up scaring the piss
10
out of
p.m.
him.
to 1 a.m. Eastern time.
didn't watch
is
the
your main
stream, so-
risk, and that's going to be focused across this area,
I wasn't watching the stream, sorry.
which is much of your
sorry.
enhanced risk
Yeah, I
region,
thought you were.
especially much of your 10 significant.
Leech Lake Reservation.
Yep, there's like several reservations. There's White Earth,
That will be
there's
it.
Red
My
Lake,
biggest
Leech
question
Lake,
again is just,
Mille Lacs.
are those storms on the warm front going to fire on or south of the warm front, or are they going to be north of that?
He
front?
lives on a reservation.
That's crazy.
No, I
And you
don't.
can see the change in direction. So
You
you
live
can
on a
see here you've got
certain place?
southeasterly winds. East southeasterly
Yeah.
winds here, and then your wind speeds get a
I'll
lot
finish it in your
weaker.
DMs, that's fine.
And turn
What?
east to northeasterly. So
Oh my
very
god,
clear
you're
cut
so
boundaries
close to the
right in
enhanced
here.
risk.
And
Sir,
then you can
I'm gonna
also
die
see
in
Your
it.
winds change from southerly.
My ass is gonna get raped by the storm.
Your winds change from southerly out in front.
Your finest pardon.
Southerly
Good-
winds to northerly
good news
winds.
Okay,
is-
so I
is,
heard- so I
front
heard
back out in
Good
here,
news is
generally.
you're gonna mainly have a wind threat. Knock on wood.
Also very
Yeah,
interesting.
it'll
Whatever
be our first tornado this year.
HRRR does in South Dakota.
You know
I
exactly
don't
why I
know
said
what
knock
that is.
on wood too, because you know if I
I
don't,
think that would
karma
mainly
might be
just
a
wind
bitch.
threat, small hail
Oh,
threat.
is this you streaming or is this your buddy
I really
streaming?
don't think that would do much.
Both of us are.
Oh, you're currently streaming right now with him?
Yeah.
I
Are
would
you
say it's
TRG
a
Tornado, or-
robust
No, he
day,
is,
but it's
I'm-
either a boom.
My name is
or
actually
a,
the same as it is on Discord on YouTube.
Oh.
a boom or a performance day, one or the other. Either it
So
goes
is he the
absolutely
main one
crazy
predicting
and
the storms,
performs
or is
more
it
like a
you?
moderate
Or both
risk,
you?
or it
It's,
performs as an enhanced risk.
When it gets real busy, I also tap in. But you know, since when it's quiet like this, I mainly, you know,
So you're
I
deaf.
am,
You're
like,
deafened
I
right now,
don't see
right?
it like full hardcore being a
You're
bust.
deafened on his side.
Like like a Oklahoma.
He
blue
can't.
sky
He
bus.
wouldn't be able to hear me until we get into a Discord call. I am in it. I
Either way, it
am
looks like
actually.
after 2 a.m. storms are likely going to weaken.
I'm in his
They're
Discord.
still going to pose a all hazard threat, mainly for significant.
I
wind
actually
and isolated
have
significant
asked
hail,
him, can
and
I
still could see the
like
split tornado or two,
officially
but
be
really
a part
after
of
2 a.m.,
your
most
you know
storms
your
fall
stuff?
apart.
And he hasn't responded yet. I don't know if he will. So.
I mean, that is just a crazy wind bag right there.
But what I want to do is you see how it says up here. Make sure to share the stream. What I'm basically doing is I'm restreaming their streams to share it to the public.
For us to get a
So people that watch me,
not only today but
mainly go over to their streams.
Okay.
That new criteria.
So you're advertising for him mostly?
Yeah.
Alright.
New criteria.
Same with Ryan, but well, Ryan has 3 million subs and I have 52.
Right.
But yeah, that's your HRRR run. NAM 3K, which is an okay model run, but it's already wrong. So honestly, I'm not even gonna pull that out because the NAM 3K is already wrong on initiation.
You hear them like little beeps?
So from here on out, I'm not too sure about
thunderstorm
using the HRRR anymore.
issued.
I think 22Z is probably a good.
I can see on
So
the
how-
radar right there. It's flashing.
How bad is he predicting it for my area, Todd County in Minnesota?
I don't think
you're mainly gonna have a
wanna be
wind
using
threat,
the,
but I would not
HRRR.
rule out at least a spin up tornado.
I don't like to use it day of, especially for forecasting.
But wind and hail are
in
definitely
terms
going to
of,
be your problems.
Like if I'm planning to chase,
Right.
I don't like to really
Which,
use the
I
HRRR
mean,
simulated reflectivity.
Wind, you're probably used
But
to that
the
already.
HRRR's instability, it's 2
Yeah,
points
yeah.
environment. That's still good to use.
Old white man with some gray hair.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the actual that's the actual chroming counter.
Very accurate.
I based my character off the actual chroming counter shirt.
Right now,
That
and
reminded
still showing it to
me.
you guys is because
I
like
was
said,
actually
the earlier
live
runs,
during
like
that
our
Crow
18Z runs and
County
before that,
tornado.
they're all
I
garbage.
seen it while
They're all
Ryan and
garbage
me
at
and
handling
TRG was
convection
live. I have it on
for
fucking
today's
stream.
They've been handled.
Oh yeah, the best part is my grandma went right down my grandma's road, County Road 127 near Nisswa, Merrifield. She was almost affected by it. It was great.
Some of the
It actually died. It was amazing.
Let's see, that's Nebraska.
It was a big
a
tornado
little bit more
too.
cap on this run.
It was only an EF1, but still.
Windshield
EF1?
improve at all? Nah, still the same windshield.
Yeah, it was the National Weather
Crazy
Service determined it was an EF1. It was only 100 miles an hour wind.
Well, at least it was only an
All over
EF1
the
because that
place.
means it didn't hit anything.
It damaged mostly trees.
Woof.
Good.
Very favorable wind.
Even
shear.
though that it was
Very
definitely a
favorable
PDS
volt shear.
tornado
So
warning
that's
at
gonna allow
once.
for
Or at one
supercells
point.
to form
PDS?
very quickly along
Yeah,
the
I have a
waterfront.
clip of it.
Also gonna
What's
allow
went-
what do you mean? What do you mean by PDS?
Uh,
growth of those
particularly
storms
dangerous
along the cold
situation.
front.
Mason, this is what the sheriff looks like. I kind of base my character off of him.
For those who don't know,
what I thought, what I heard, Crow
Wing.
Crow Wing County,
So,
and like when I seen the listing at the top of the screen when the new
Downdraft
warning
kit,
came
I
up,
mean,
I was like,
I could definitely see
Wait
why
a
the
minute.
HRRR wants this guy to produce.
aren't I a sheriff? Aren't I a sheriff in a freaking Discord server, aka a 5M server that has Crow Wing County?
700 to potentially upwards of
I was.
900 and that is just.
I thought it
insane
through
numbers.
real quick, and I was
That is
like,
just insane.
ain't
numbers
no
right
fucking
there.
way.
Yep.
Low level hits a little bit
Mason,
more
go ahead and
north.
change your rank insignia too.
That
Your
could,
500
Thanks for reminding me.
that could,
Oh.
Very obvious.
could technically
short-lived.
be an attack
Very
from
obvious short-lived
Mother
hit.
Nature to you.
Dew points
Why me though?
Because
improved
I
a little bit across central.
I
North
sure as
Dakota.
hope it ain't me, because
did
I
improve slightly
I have a
across
dome
this
over my
area.
house. You're not a forecaster like
still,
I am, so
This-
you
this
may not
entire
have
area
that
here,
that
everything is just gonna
chaser
be
dome
elevated,
that I have.
meaning that
Fuck
mainly
no.
hail and winds will be an issue. You could see a spin up tornado, but
I may
really
actually be
everything in
giving
this
you the
corridor
date.
is going to be favorable for elevated
There you go. That's it.
storms.
And share the kernel.
And then once you get
Okay.
west of that, this area is more favorable for surface-based storms.
Hey, Harper, are you able to stream stream? Because I kind of like watching people make
where
quivers.
your main threat
If you're
would
comfortable
be
with that.
going after 10 p.m.
Sure.
Eastern
I'm
time.
currently just fixing an issue.
All good, brother. All good, brother. I know. I like watching people make quivers. It's really entertaining to watch.
Hey, Jeffy, if I could, could I access, or could I, could you allow me to add a few scripts?
Send them to me, I'll add them.
Be at least 6.
What scripts are there?
If they ain't, then you
well,
can
one
get
you probably already have. That's the /start fire script.
Yes, we already have that.
Already a funnel cloud reported on the severe. Well, we kind of have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The speaking of it,
assuming you're probably
it may try to terrorize people here and there, or terrorize the server mainly. But
right now. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise
tornado
me if it has a
script?
funnel. That doesn't shock me at all.
Yes.
Now, if it
There's
had a
something
full-blown
similar to
tornado,
that.
would
It's
surprise
CRS
me more
natural
because, like I said,
disasters. It's
elevated.
already a pain.
Yeah, they just
Oh,
changed
I
that to
already
a
ran into
2-inch
that
hail, so it is.
Hey, Mason, guess what?
Severe.
What?
The funny thing is, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office actually uses the same siren as
our
LPD. So Alan's just giving us our like police department livery, police department.
I think that actually could
siren, so we get the rumbler.
marginal risk here.
What?
Okay.
By the way, just so you know, that most southern storm is actually heading your way. But it's like 250 miles plus away from you.
And then it takes a sharp northern.
And Montana.
So, do we know what the wind speed is? Like how fast it's traveling?
I can check right now. It's this one right here that's going towards you.
And it takes that sharp turn between 10 and 11 o'clock tonight, according to the HRRR.
Let's see what they issued. Oh, damn. Peak tornado intensity 85 to 115 sounds about right. Peak wind gusts 75 to 90.
We're very close.
Peak hail size 2 to... Oh,
just
damn,
3
that's
away
not
from
good.
9,900
2 to
subscribers.
3.5
So
inches.
we're almost 100 away from the big 10,000.
I got something that's 2 to 3.5 inches.
That's a monster-ass hail.
10,000 before the end of the year.
Let's hope that doesn't come falling out of the sky. That's going to hurt some
definitely
people.
1,000.
Well, break some windows and
Also, if you haven't already
possibly
hit
dent
that
a
like button
roof.
too, goes to support the channel.
We're not going to acknowledge what I just said.
Algorithm.
Oh, I heard.
Oh, I heard. I just... My stream definitely heard too. Well, hopefully I was talking over you enough to minimize...
Oh, you definitely were.
See, does it have it in the future?
But
I assume you have Axon 4. You're wearing Axon 4? Or is that 3?
That might be a 4. I think it might be a 4.
This looks like 3. The one I'm wearing looks like 3.
Capybara, the
one you
cap's
look...
not going to be fully broken anymore.
Wow.
It was pretty much fully
That is this
broken.
one's. I think the one I got is a 4. Is the Axon 4 the one with the interactive where you can translate people's languages? I think.
By the way, just so you know,
yeah, you're wearing 4.
You're probably going to be surprised about what I'm about to say, and it might scare you a little bit.
What?
The Storm Prediction Center has been thinking about, on the 9 p.m. update, they've been thinking about issuing a moderate risk for wind.
In terms of the U.S.,
so we're looking at a possible upgrade to the outlook.
Threat actually
fucker.
will be in Canada.
So instead of going, what do you call it? Going to be moderate. Instead of being orange, we're going to be kind of red.
To update y'all on the risk.
Yeah, depending on where they put the outlook at. Which I would think it would be close to the North Dakota and Minnesota line. So.
Yeah, I would have figured. Stop it! Stop it! That's abuse! Sexual assault from the colonel.
Let's go back over to
That is
okay.
the thing I've heard today.
You didn't miss much.
I love
Legacy.
being in the VC with
Oh,
Mason
that
all
might
day.
actually be
Hasn't been
producing
all
big
day.
hail
Most of the day.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold
I'm
on.
not
I
going to my
can't
DM
tell
to
on
check.
that one. I'm gonna be
So,
honest with you.
Jeff P, you want to know
I
why
can't
they
tell with
issued
that
that
one.
mesoscale discussion
I know it was
for
82
tornadoes?
4. I don't know. I think you might be right.
What?
That storm that's heading towards you at a slow pace, it's already trying
be
to
82.
rotate. You see that?
Oh yeah.
It's already trying.
So by the time it hits me, there could be a possible tornado. You're saying?
I wouldn't say that, but the further
So,
east,
storm's still
the
staying
further
very
east that
elevated,
goes, I
as
think the less
anticipated.
and less the tornado threat would be with
No
that
tornado warnings yet today.
particular storm. What I would
but
say though is
not
that
really expecting to see
your
much
main
tornadic activity
tornado
until, like I
threat
mentioned
close to you
before,
into
after
your
10 p.m. Eastern
northwest
time.
would be around 9, 10
For now, our
o'clock.
main threat is going to be hail and
Not
wind.
pretty for
awake.
you, because that's a nocturnal threat, so that's not very nice.
And
So
then
you're saying
the
sleep in the
wind picks
basement
up in the
potentially?
overnight hours.
I honestly, since you're close to the tornado
At
threat,
least
if
from
not
what I can
almost,
tell.
if not in at least the 2%, I would say, just in case, I would say maybe you want to sleep
So
in
we're
the
just
basement.
gonna continue to
Sweet. I'll put my cot down
monitor
there.
the storms, and as long as I'm live, I'll keep an update. I'll keep on
But
updating all
time
of these
goes
storms and
fast.
whatever
It's
new
already been
information we
50
get.
minutes since I started my live stream. So
Right.
We're probably not going to see. This is definitely going to be our main watch. Whatever's issued out here is for
Jeffrey.
watch of the day.
exactly what he's
I
saying
don't
right
really know
now.
what-
I agree. That
what
main
we'll see.
watch could
Honestly,
be
we
over
could see
Fargo.
anything from
So
a high-end
Yeah, I'm a little
watch,
bit past
that is
Medina.
not
I'm like
PBS,
right where the M is,
potentially even a
where you see
PBS
Medina. 'Cause that's
severe
county. That's
storm.
Highway 10.
just so you know,
I'm right.
you might be under a PDS severe watch.
I can tell you this:
tonight.
if we do end up with any type
Oh,
of
God damn it.
high-end,
Which wouldn't probably
watch
wouldn't
out in this
surprise you,
area.
would it? Because it's for wind
No.
and hail.
we
So
could see an upgrade to a moderate risk.
yeah,
at
see
9
what he just
o'clock.
Right.
said.
And I think it will mainly be for.
No, I was on a different stream. I was looking at Harper's stream because he's making delivery. They're talking about death, so I kind of rather just be focused on making delivery personally.
Oh boy. If Ryan goes live before I end my my
if they
update,
decide to.
I
upgrade
might
those.
just go ahead and change the. Nah,
scale
actually,
discussion just
I
issued
think
severe
if Ryan
hail
goes
and
live
winds
before I
likely
end
with
this one, I'll
ongoing
end this
storms.
stream and
Some
then start
concern
up my
exists
8
for
p.m.
upscale growth into an
seclude, so-
intense MCS,
Which would
with
be the
a
mainstream for the whole
significant
night.
severe wind threat. 80 to 90 mile an hour winds, 2 to 3 inch hail will be the main
I
concern.
didn't really count
Spin up
on
tornado can be
a nighttime threat because nighttime threats are normally in the spring.
So they're mentioning the potential
Right.
for an MCS to grow upscale across this area
But
and here. Where
when
we
I
could see
do
80 to 90 mile an hour
encounter them,
winds. And the
Man, oh man,
time on that. Let me go
I
find it
get
real quick.
tired early now,
Oh, gracious,
like
this is
9,
Mountain
10
Time.
p.m.
So that's
I
8:45
might have to go in there and fix me
Eastern,
some tea
8:45 Eastern,
just to stay
7:45
awake,
Central.
because that's when the
is
main
when these
tornado
storms
threat's
should
gonna
be
ramp
grown
up.
upscale and potentially producing 80 to 90 mile an hour winds.
And if things go bad, and if things go in the wrong direction, it can actually get wild for you.
Oh yeah.
Like that, the environment is that volatile. It will tornadoes will rip up the countryside if it gets bad.
So,
I know this, dude. I know this.
SPC.
Okay, I know.
I'll show you the.
So you literally,
graphic now.
I'm
It's not
I'm
gonna
just
highlight
imagining you would walk out. You've
the area
probably
they have
walked
upscale
out.
Growth, but this is where
I'm pretty
they
sure you
highlighted
walked
it.
out earlier and
Highlighted
saw
it
how
on the
humid
east
it
side
was.
of
So
the
you
MCD
probably
generally
know.
here.
Yes,
Is where
yes.
they
It's been
mentioned
humid all
upscale
goddamn
growth of
day.
potentially
I
80
know
to 90
this.
mile an hour winds.
So you were
And the
probably
hail
expecting
threat
this severe
remains,
severe
like I
weather
said,
to
2
begin
3 inch
with.
in diameter hail possible.
Because
Yes.
with all this humid,
I've learned over the years, if it's hot and humid, we're gonna have a storm. I know that for sure. I know that from experience.
Outside of this MCD. in about
same
2.5
down here in
hours.
Texas, but
Watch is in effect for
the
4
thing down
hours,
here in
but,
Texas is if you're hot and
we'll
if it's
see how
hot
fast
and
these
humid,
storms move.
it might
Yeah, it's in the
especially
slightest,
in
for
West
sure.
Texas.
Yes, it is.
West Texas has the it has that thing where even if there's not a tornado threat, a storm might still produce at least one tornado.
Right. We have that one,
and that's because of the terrain out there.
That is going to take a more turn,
Harper, if you go up more in media, there is a picture of Crow County if you want to see a better image.
20Z.
Scroll up.
It would have been in a marginal.
Keep going up.
Upgrade that.
And I'm not joking. I don't know if you've seen it, but I have a live stream from a while back. I'd say about a month ago.
Are you looking for the numbers or
marginal risk?
I'm just waiting for this to finish changing.
Southwest.
So. Oh, gotcha.
By the way, that severe that's kind of heading in any direction, but very slowly on the Montana, South Dakota, and North Dakota border right now. That storm was upgraded to a whopping 2.5 inch in diameter hail.
There you go. They upgraded that to
nice, great, wonderful.
2.5 inch hail observed, and 70 mile-an-hour winds as well. Most of these are for 1 inch hail. Yeah, 1 inch hail, 1 inch hail, 1 inch hail.
That is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning now. So
there is a
great. What made it worse is around 9:15. Me and my buddy are gonna go work out at the gym across the street. So
don't be surprised to see a few destructives to your west tonight.
Great.
Jeff, how far are you from Nisswa?
I'm about like 45 minutes, give or take. 45 minutes to an hour. Why?
See it, but there's a
okay.
There. It seems like
up or down? I assume down.
I don't expect anything to fire off of that.
And this was up for me. I'm down. Why?
Fine. Bro's trying to come see you.
I mean, if I really wanted to come see him, he's paying for everything. Sorry to tell you, Jeff.
Oh, you broke back mountain.
Yes, exactly.
You broke back, bitch. I'm kidding now.
This might actually be the most funniest the most funniest weather stream I've ever had.
Is there a bird that just landed at my?
I don't like to keep.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Birds are crazy nowadays. I've seen one fly.
Could get up
Dude,
to like 107.
I have an owl on my front porch. You know, I like one of those decoy owls. One bird went under that porch.
We're not really
came out of there, flew into the window
storms for a while.
before
really,
leaving.
Our main area is just going to be along the cold front here for the next.
Birds have been going crazy, so
I don't expect
they wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, one somehow came through our chimney or whatever you want to call it, and ended up inside of the house.
And that could be.
Yes.
There's a chance that's our CU filled to
Okay.
develop.
How did we go from talking about weather to talking about birds? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
How dare you?
You were walking in place. I was trying to fix you.
Huh?
You were walking in place.
Oh, you could have told me.
That's crazy. He said nope.
I mean, the NAM had storms exploding in this area right now.
You know, shit. The NAM 3K is always a shitty ass model.
Throw the NAM out the window.
Tell me about it. Dude, there is one thing you can probably agree with me on right fucking now, Jeff, is that the NAM 3K model is a shit model.
A what?
The NAM 3K AI model is a shit model.
It's like really early.
Like
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It says storms are firing, in southern North Dakota right now. There's not a single storm there.
A destructive severe for 2.75.
It's saying there's storms right where they're
what?
So that is a destructive severe.
Am I in the general vicinity? Look at your DMs.
Montana.
Oh my
probably
God.
gonna see a lot.
I mean, fucking Jacob.
Hey, I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to find the city.
Up more. My city or what?
Yeah. I've generally just been going off of this picture.
He wants to fucking nuke your
up more.
house.
Up more. I'm more near Highway 10, so Cushing is about 20 minutes away from me. So keep going north. It's between Wadena and Maui, I'll say.
Alright, let's see here. I gotta fix
Storms
some
have
shit.
almost exited Montana. Our main storm right now is currently exiting Montana, entering southwest North Dakota, northwest South Dakota. And we still have a little weak storm here with 1-inch hail, about 60 mile-an-hour winds. Fairly on the weaker side compared to the severe to its east, and the severe well off to its south.
Over here, your name, yes. Go over here. I should have done this earlier, but I said fuck it, why not?
I believe this is your updated satellite, I'm pretty sure.
Now I gotta go over here and do this again. Why not?
Yeah, I think this looks to be your updated satellite imagery. So that's your general weak CU filled right in there. And it's going to be moving.
There we go.
Probably fairly quickly up to the north here over the next 2 hours. And once it gets very close to that warm front or gets on that warm front, lower level jet increases, wind shear increases, everything really increases. Then we will start to see it initiate. And that should be somewhere near 10 o'clock Eastern time, about 2 hours from now, probably in this general area here. So the CU field, which is the step before storms firing, is still got a while to go, but it's got a good 2.5 hours to get there.
I'll be back later with Ryan Hall, y'all guys. See you later.